reach for my pound when I pick up the blunt. It's hard to put it down. The northern lights keeps me high as kites. Got a stupid fat collection of bonds, bowls, and pipes.
What's good, people? We're gonna pop in here. We're gonna do this contest. Then do a little show and tell tricky way contest. People kind of like seeing the Buddha bunker last night, which we'll have to do like a full tour. I still got some stuff to put up in here, so we're gonna do the contest, try to have a little fun with it, and we're doing it for this joint right here. I don't know if it shows on the bottom. Yeah, we ain't gonna be able to get all of that. $50 value, straight from Marley's house. I'm sure that's Bob Marley himself. So, nice little bubbler piece. It's got a little perk down the bottom. Come with the bowl. 14 mil. A nice bent stem on it. It's the one thing I don't have is anything with a bent stem. I want to get something with a bent stem. So, the bottom. Decent bottom and whatnot. So, nice little piece to add to the collection. If you want, you can get a banger for it. Change this out. Get a freaking, put a banger piece in there. And do some dabs and whatnot. So that's always an option too. So that's what we're going to be working with, and we'll show off the piece for the next giveaway too, because we already picked that one up the other day. So, and then I picked up a couple pieces too while I was there at the smoke shop. Picked up a little bat. I guess they call them tasters now. Picked up a little square pipe. Don't underestimate this style of pipe. I like this. It's got the carb hole on the front, so you kind of just go like that. And I think that's almost better in a way. So we're gonna see. And what are we gonna do? Yeah, we're actually gonna take a puff of that. But what we're gonna do, we got a bunch of concert tickets lined up that I went to, and you just have to say one name of one of the bands in the comments. This way I know you want to be in it, because some people may not want to be in it, may not want to give their address, whatever. Like I said, I do eBay and Etsy. I got addresses out the wazoo. So yeah, so we're gonna do it like that, because if you just leave a comment saying like, you know, thanks for the video or enjoyed the review, I'm not gonna enter you. I'm assuming you don't want to be in it. So you got to leave one of these band names, or you know, in some way say you hate that band or whatever. You gotta leave a band name in the joint. So I'm gonna take a puff of this right quick. And then what we'll do, we'll post this video tonight, which is I believe the 21st, or yeah, today's the 21st. What's today? Today's the 21st, so we'll post it tonight, and then we'll give you like tomorrow's the 22nd, the 23rd to watch it, and then leave a comment, and then on the 24th I'll do like a live, and we'll pick someone during the live. So this way you got 48 hours to peep it out, you know, because I don't expect everyone to be right on top of everything right away and shit. So we'll do it like that, and then we'll show the other piece that we'll give away for the next joint. That'll probably be at like 300, which we could do that, I'm sure. Got a good little community here growing and shit. Good people. Few people helped out the channel, appreciate that, namely Sean420 Pro. So we'll do this thing here, grab a sip of tea. Alright, so I did have a little wand here. Where'd my wand go? Oh, I got my wand here. So we'll go through some of these bands. This is a little history of some of the shit I went through. Some of these are interesting, like they were like the day after each other and whatnot, and I bugged out. And there were also some smaller shows in between this where, you know, we didn't get tickets for. But we'll start this joint here. The first one up top here, Bob Dylan, back in 1997. That was in New Jersey. And that was a good show. Fish in 1999. So you don't have to leave the year, but you can if you want. And you know, whether you like Fish or not, a fish show was just, especially back then, you know, the whole parking lot was just like a festival. People selling, you name it, from clothes to food to smokables to edibles to God knows what. So those were good times. That was my first time ever seeing them. I really wasn't up on them. And that was in Philadelphia. And that was a good time. That was a real good time. Next show, The Pretenders. Chrissy Hines, back on the Chain Gang. If you know The Pretenders, she was hot back in the day. That was in New York City, Roseland Ballroom. Yeah, and this was in March of 2000. So we started going a little crazy right here in March. Then in March again of 2000, we hit the Allman Brothers, Beacon Theater in New York City. Next month in April, we hit Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young at Madison Square Garden. A little bit after that, in June, would we hit Rat Dog, which Rat Dog is Bob Weir from the Grateful Dead, the other lead singer, opposed to Jerry Garcia. That was his band. That was a good show. That was in Asbury Park, New Jersey. Then we seen Fish again, New Jersey. That was like a week after the Rat Dog show. And then that was June in 2000. Then a few days later, July 1st, we saw The Who in New Jersey in 2000. So, people like The Who, I know that shit. Then we saw Widespread Panic for the first time. And that the following month, no, that was the same month, in July 28th in Atlantic City. That was an amazing show. Had some mushies for that show. But it was in a casino, so the vibe was a little weird. And it was freezing in the casino, so I literally had to buy a shirt just because it was so freezing. So after the Widespread Panic, we saw Phil Lesh and Friends of the Grateful Dead, and then Bob Dylan and his band. That was a good show. That was the following month. And then July, the next month after that, saw Neil Young in August. New Jersey. 5 days after that, saw AC/DC in New Jersey. That was a good show. It had a huge fire-breathing statue of Angus Young on the stage. That was pretty crazy. I've never seen them before. Then we saw the Further Festival about a week or two after that. And that was with the other ones, which is other members of the Grateful Dead. And that was a good show too. Good parking lot, real good parking lot for that. Then we saw Fish again, Hershey Park. When was that? September 15th. So 5 days after Further, we went to Fish. That was a good show in Pennsylvania. Then a couple weeks later, we saw Phil Lesh and Friends at the Beacon Theater in New York City. October 9th. Then 5 days later after that, saw Phil Lesh and Friends again at the Beacon Theater, New York City. Then 2 weeks after that, we saw a String Cheese Incident at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. That was an amazing show. First time I ever seen them. Didn't hear much about them. The drummer played the drums with one hand and the like the conga drums with his other hand. It was crazy. They've since added another drummer and kind of watered things down a bit, but that was an amazing show. So after String Cheese, October 20th, 3 weeks after that, we saw Blues Traveler at Roseland Ballroom. That was a good time. John Popper playing a harmonica. November 22nd. So 2 days after that, we went to Rat Dog, which again is Bob Weir's band, and Hot Tuna, which is Jorma Kaukonen and what's his name, Neil Cassidy, I believe, of Jefferson Airplane. Real bluesy stuff. That was a good show in Atlantic City, no, Asbury Park. November 24th, and apparently the day after that, we apparently saw Mo, which is a good jam band at Roseland Ballroom back in New York City. And 2 weeks after that, we saw Medeski, Martin, and Wood in New Jersey. Awesome acid jazz jam band kind of trio. kind of tied in with Fish. If you were listening to Fish, you might have been listening to them back in the day. December 16th, then a couple weeks after that, we went back to see Mo again for New Year's at a freaking skate zone in Atlantic City. A freaking ice rink that these people put like a cardboard topping over, and the place was utterly freezing, and people were spilling drinks on the cardboard topping, and it just became a mess. So that was New Year's. Then up in March, saw the Allman Brothers, March 19th in the Beacon Theater. Then again the next day, saw the Allman Brothers on the 20th at the Beacon Theater. And then 4 days after that, saw the Allman Brothers again at the Beacon Theater on the 24th. And then the next day, right after that, saw the Allman Brothers again on the 25th at the Beacon Theater. So yeah, we definitely seen some Allman Brothers. And Beacon Theater is a spot. Then, that was that March, April, May. Then in May, we seen String Cheese Incident. That was in Louisiana. That was a good time. On May 2nd, then seen him again on May 3rd, Louisiana, then seen String Cheese again on May 4th, Louisiana. Then on the May 5th, saw Medeski, Martin, and Wood in Louisiana. Then all the way up to back in July now. July, we saw Mo in Central Park, New York. That was a pretty wild show, outside. Then 8 days later, saw String Cheese Incident again in Central Park. That was another good show. And then the following month again, saw the Allman Brothers again in New Jersey. A few months later, saw Deep Banana Blackout, good funk band in Florida. December, and then a few months after that, saw Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young again. April 13th and April 23rd, saw String Cheese Incident right after that. Then saw Galactic. Galactic was a, awesome funk band. I think they're still going. Jam band style. That was May. And in July, we see Phil Lesh and Friends again with Rat Dog. And with Dickie Betts and Great Southern, which Dickie Betts is, one of the main guitarists for the Allman Brothers. He's one of my favorite guitars ever, and that was an awesome show. Then after that, saw Trey Anastasio by himself with his own band, which he put out an album, and I really liked that. It was almost like a Latino type, vibe and whatnot. He had a full band on stage, a percussion section, a horn section, all kinds of stuff. So after Trey, we saw Bob Weir and Rat Dog again, and Grateful Dead. Then we saw. We'll scooch over. Then we saw Neil Young and Crazy Horse again. And that was in June 2003. Then after that, same month, saw Boston. That was a pretty good show. I didn't really expect to go to that show, but that was a good time. Then after Boston, we saw The Dead. 4 days later. With Bob Dylan and his band. Then after that, let's see, 2005, seen Donna the Buffalo. Donna Buffalo's still doing their thing. I actually bought my friend tickets to see them last year up in Jersey. And they're awesome. They're like an Americana jam band. Real twangy, kind of good stuff. Little Zydeco type vibe. Radiators. They were one of the best bands you'd ever see. I think they're doing like wrap-up tours now, like retirement tours, if anything. Just straight up rock and roll, just Louisiana-based rock and roll that were just under the radar for some reason for so many years. Donna the Buffalo again, the Radiators again, the Radiators again. Yeah, if you know about the Radiators, whew. They were the shit in person, man. Then we'll do this little joint. This was a festival. Then we'll go back to String Cheese Incident, Donna the Buffalo again, Dark Star Orchestra, which is a Grateful Dead cover band. The Radiators again, the Radiators again. Dirty Dozen Brass Band, which is a good horn funk band, I think from Atlanta or New Orleans, one or the other. And then some of these were other bands. I mean, Cake, Mo, G-Love and Special Sauce, The Wailers, Sound Tribe Sector 9, that was good stuff. If anything's recognizable here, Soul Live Particle, The New Deal, P Groove. What was here? Buckethead, I seen Buckethead. P Groove, The Duo, Hot Buttered Rum. Yeah, so that's gonna be it. Pick any band on there, just leave any name of any band in the comment, and then I'll assume that you want to be in the contest. And otherwise, I'll assume you don't want to be in if you just leave a generic comment. So, if you can, have your email in your YouTube. You don't have to leave it there forever, but just for the contest time period. So if I go like in your information, you have an email there. This way I can directly contact you and not, you know, do something weird through Twitter or whatnot, because then everybody has different names on different places. So just have your email, whatever contact email in your YouTube information. I'll contact you from my email, which is at the Buddha Bunker, or is thebuddhabunker@gmail.com. It's got the Buddha picture and all of that shit on it, and we should be good to go. So, like I said, just leave a comment, and we'll wait 2 days. Tomorrow, the next day, and then Christmas Eve, we'll do the drawing live, and then hit me up within 7 days after that. After the drawing goes down, because if you don't hit me up within 7 days, I may assume you just dropped out and we'll have to redo it, something like that. So any questions, leave them below. I think we may have everything, but yeah, y'all have a good one. We'll drop another review before Christmas, I'm sure. So yeah, y'all be good. Peace. Alright, forgot to add in a clip of the pipe for the second giveaway we're gonna do. This is gonna be the second pipe piece. It's a big old freaking bastard. Let's see if we can get the whole thing in here with my hand and show how big it is. So it's a nice big, like, I guess you call it like a hammer bubbler or something like that. It's got all these nice claws coming out of it. And it's nice because if you did bump it, there's nothing really sharp here. So you should be okay in that respect. I believe it's like an octopus. It's got little tentacles down the bottom that come out. Nice sized bowl hole in it. Nice barbs coming off here. The side barbs, a little sharp. So, but you'd pretty much be grabbing it, you know, down the bottom and whatnot, and doing your thing. So, nice piece. $80 value. I don't know if we can get it in there. Straight from Bob Marley's house again. So that'll be the second pipe we'll give away. And someone, you know, hopefully y'all make a video. Hopefully someone gets it that'll show, you know, put it in a video smoking it or something. We'll see how these things work and whatnot. If they're decent and whatnot. So this one be one of those pipes that you wouldn't buy for yourself. That's why they said do it for like a contest or whatever. But yeah, someone will get some enjoyment out of this piece. Alright folks, so we'll pop in on the next one.